Hi, I'm Tom, and today I will show you how to debug your Lua scripts with Eclipse. So, to do this we need, first of all, Eclipse. So download it if you haven't already, and first check if we have the Lua development tools installed. For this, go to Help, Installation Details, and here scroll down and see Lua development tools. If this is not present, you have to install it. For this, go again to the Help menu to install new software. Choose the location of your Eclipse release. There actually you can download every official plugin. This takes a while. Then scroll down to Programming Languages, and here you would have seen Lua development tools. Those, the SDKs, are actually just for if you want to extend the plugin itself. This is not intended here. Okay, so now you have the Lua development tools. Now we need to create a project. For this, go to File, New, Other. Here you have a bunch of options, but you go to Lua and Lua Project. Give it a name, let's call it Lua Debugging. And we want this to be in our Gamekit playground. So choose this option, create project at existing location, and hit the browse button. Now navigate to your playground and choose the project folder. Okay. The rest is okay. Always choose Lua 5.1. Hit next and now finish. And here it shows up Lua debugging. This is our just created Lua project. If you open it, you will see project land. This is actually our game, and there are two folders: Lua, where is actually usually nothing in it. You see, nothing, and media, where actually is usually also nothing. So, first of all, we need to register our Gamepad runtime as a Lua interpreter. For this, go to the little arrow beside the Run icon to Run Configurations. Scroll down to Lua Applications and hit the New Launch Configuration icon. Let's call it Lua Debugging for Experts. But you see here, default interpreter is Lua 5.1, but we want here to our interpreter to show up. For this, go to Manage Interpreters and hit the Add button. For the interpreter type, choose Generic Lua, and now we need to Gamekit Playground, and there to the Runtimes folder and choose our runtime. For me it is in the Linux folder app.kit. Give it a name, we will call it Gamekit Lua. For now, uncheck this. This is the accept -e is very important, because with -e on the runtime you can inject Lua code that is executed before any other script. and the debugger actually needs this. So make sure this is checked. But actually this is it. We are ready. Now our gamekit Lua interpreter shows up, and now we can choose it as our preferred interpreter. You see now default interpreter gamekit Lua. Last thing to do is to tell the runtime where to find our project file, and since it is in the same folder or in the folder of the working directory, we can just hit project blend as interpreter argument. And now if we press the run button, nothing works. Oh, here it is. I don't know why it didn't come up at once. Let's try it again. Okay, that's weird, but it's running. Okay, now we need some Lua to debug. Since we are starting our game with the blend file, there is the first, we have to start all Lua inside the blend file itself. So go back to Blender and go to the game logic. There is our text editor, and there, I have it already here, you have to create a text block that's called onInit Lua. For this, go to New and write onInit Lua. This is actually case sensitive, so make sure it's a capital O and a capital I. And the only thing we do here is to call a Lua script that is in the file system. So with this line, we actually only tell, hey, gamekit, import the script starter Lua, which is in the Lua folder. This we save and go back to our project in Eclipse. With right click on the folder and then new file, we can create a new Lua file. And since we want to load the starter Lua, we create the file now. So here it is. So let's make a simple test. dprintf is the command to just debug or print something to the screen. Array Lua is working. Now if we start it again, we see, hooray, Lua is working. So now write down some more lines. With this command we get the active scene, and in the scene we can query for all kinds of objects that are in the scene. So since we have the default cube, let's get the default cube from the scene. So scene get object, this is also by name and this is also case sensitive. And okay, now if you want to create a breakpoint, you can go to this column beside the line numbers and just double click. So if you want to create a breakpoint, just here, just double click there. Then this little blue dot appears, and now instead of running our game from the run menu, we go to the debug menu and choose our project. tool debugging for experts. Now let's call it, and here we are. You see the script stopped at the right position. And now we can just debug it. You see here the scene is available. It is actually a full C object, so you can't see the internals here. But if you go to counter, okay. So let's make a little bit more to see. There is some kind of a default loop. You can create it with default game, and on this you can add a queue. Or there is a queue where you can just add functions that should be called on every tick. Add always queue function, and as long as this returns true, it is called on the next tick again. If it returns false, it will end. Since we have our object here, which is the cube, we can rotate it. Let's just start it. You see, this is our loop, just rotating the cube with pure Lua. Let's use our counter and increase it on every tick and jump out here. I'm actually not sure what this is about. I have to look into it, but it's still working. So you see on the up values, since we created our counter on the main, and we are now in a function that is accessing this counter, it is an up value. So under up values you find counter, and if we go on, counter +1 is now 96, and so on. You can disable all breakpoints and just watch how your application, and can also switch this on again, and you will come back and see that you see nothing. If you have no like before, if you see nothing here, make sure you are on this, you're selecting this function or this routine where you are actually working at the moment. Okay, this is not about how the Lua API is working. It is just about showing you how to make the debugger work. Yeah, that's it for the moment. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.